Welcome everyone from across Ontario and around the world for tuning in to this entertaining broadcast of live curling right here from Title Sports Live. This afternoon we have live coverage of the men's Recharge with Milk Provincial Tankard coming to you from the Canada Summit Centre in Huntsville, Ontario. Some great history being made here as we celebrate this 91st championship, which is fantastic, Mary. My name is Ian Tetley and I'm joined by my esteemed colleague Mary Chilvers, two-time former Ontario Scotties winner and runner-up in the 1997 Scotties to Sandra Schmerler. This afternoon's feature matchup will have our B-side final, which is John Epping from the Leaside Curling Club in Toronto against Mark KEAN from the Woodstock Curling Centre in Woodstock, Ontario. Well, Mary, two great teams here this afternoon. What can we have to say about the John Epping team?
Well, the John Epping team, of course, they've had their one loss here, and it was to Glenn Howard in the final last night. So we have John Epping and Matt Cam playing third for John. Patrick Jansen is playing second, and Tim March is the lead on this Leaside Curling Club team.
We had the fortune of seeing Mark KEAN's team this morning. Obviously, Mark KEAN at skip, Colin Dow at third, Brad Kidd playing second, and Scott Brandon at lead. Obviously, Mark got a real young team here, but they seem to, get a jump on Mark Bice this morning and seem to be able to bring it home. Fortunately, there were some real nice ticks in the 10th end that helped them along.
Absolutely. I was really impressed with the Mark KEAN team here this morning. They're going to be tough.
Obviously, there's other action going on our games today, but last night on our A-side final, we had Glenn Howard, the 55-year-old 17-time Ontario champion, take it to John Epping, and he came out the victor, so he will get the bye into the 1-2 page playoff game tomorrow afternoon at 2:30, I believe. And then, obviously, into our B-side here, we've got the B final here this afternoon between John Epping and Mark KEAN. The winner will go into that 1-2 page playoff game against Glenn Howard tomorrow. The three other games going on right now are all C-side games. We've got Sebastian Robillard up against Joe Franz. We've got Mark Bice playing Richard Krell, and Cody Moss up against Greg Balsden. Obviously, those two teams, the victors will carry on and be in the C-side finals this evening at 7:30 right here on Title Sports Live. The teams are just finishing up their practice, and we will be having the draw to the button. Mark KEAN already had his practice and draw, Mary, and I think he put it right next to the pin, but not covering the pin.
Right. So this is John Epping's practice draw. Yeah, I don't think this is the real one yet.
No, he's still got another minute left in his practice. So he'll try to get a couple of more in here just to, really dial in what the button's going to be.
So both these teams just having one loss here and both losing to Glenn Howard along the way. I really see these two teams as having a great battle here this afternoon. Really impressed with the KEAN's front end, Ian, this morning with the sweeping. Well,
definitely, probably. They will give Patrick Jansen and Tim March their run for their money for sweeping.
Will. Absolutely.
But both of these teams will have good quality front ends. This is a bit of a grudge match in there because Matt Cam, the third for John Epping, went to the Briar playing third for Mark KEAN. So I guess Matt can say he kind of knows the way Mark throws it, and then Mark can kind of say, well, I kind of know the way Matt throws it.
That's right. Yeah. Of course, Glenn Howard last night putting on an absolute clinic to win the A side.
Well, it was great to see some of the emotion from an old dog there when he made that last shot in the ninth end. Yeah. A huge double takeout to carry his team to victor and earn that first A-side qualifying spot.
So I think this is a huge game here, Ian, because you know getting that spot in the 1-2 game is really important.
Well, I think for John Epping, obviously he wants another kick at at Glenn Howard. You know, I think he missed a couple of shots to give away some points, you know, but Glenn could kind of say the same thing early in that game. He missed 2 shots in the second end and gave John a little bit of an easy 3.
Yeah.
Well, they're not touching this one, so this is, looks like it's coasting, and we will see the measurement to see who has the hammer. Mary, and then obviously this was built back in 2010 for the G8 summit. Is it G8 or G7?
It was the G8.
G8.
Yeah.
Never know if they're including Russia or not.
Yeah, it's a really nice facility. It has 2 arenas in here, I think, Ian.
Correct.
Yeah. Swimming pool.
Well, say the least for all these players. I know every draw it seems to get better and better. Basically, the times have been about 15.5 between hog line for a draw to the button. It's swinging of approximately 3.5 to 4 feet to the middle, and about 4 to 5 feet going to the wing.
So what do you expect here today, Ian? A lot of rocks in play from these 2 teams?
I think initially it'll be fairly conservative. I think that they will be kind of feeling each other out a little bit. I don't think these 2 have played each other this season. I know John, you know, John was in the roar of the rings, and I think he ended up being 2-6 there that week. I know that they lost about 3 games by like a point, and that could have gone either way during the game. And so, you know, when that happens, I think that was John's big focus for the season was actually those Olympic trials. And when that happens, there's a little bit of a letdown, but at the same time, you know, when you have a big letdown like they did, you know, you kind of regroup and you kind of say, well, okay, now I'm really focused now on the Brier, and you really want it, and again, really gets your juices flowing. So I fully expect that John's going to be right here in this event, right to the final. So my thinking right now is that John should win this game, but Mark Keane's not going to go down without a fight. You know, he's obviously a former Ontario champion. He knows what it takes to win in this type of setting, and so he will continue. And you know, ironically, he beat John Epping in that final.
That's right.
In 2015 to actually earn the right to represent Ontario.
Right. Just waiting here to get the teams introduced. I think we're running a little bit behind.
No, I think they're right on time.
Are they?
Cool. Well, they're just mopping up the sheets. You know, I really think the strengths of John's game is that, you know, he's really a smart player. Like he plays the game really smart. He tries to be very tactically correct, and you know, just the odd time I think he sticks his neck out a little bit too far, and then ends up you know, exposing himself to make some sort of run in. I think a lot of his victories on the Grand Slam tour, he was fortunate enough to make some really big shots with run-ins.
Yeah.
Versus Mark Keane, I don't think Mark and his team have actually sort of played at the high level. They've been a team that has been playing sort of the B circuit here in Ontario, had some great success here in Ontario. I know they won the Cooksdown Cash Spiel this past season. They came second, they lost the final of the Brantford Nissan Men's Spiel. They ended up third down in Sarnia Spiel down there, and lost the final of the Moosehead Fall Open in Ottawa too. So, you know, they've been right there in every event that they've played in.
Yeah.
So, you know what? It's just maybe he's just looking for an opportunity to step through. So our team here at Title Sports Live is proud to bring you all the images this afternoon for this key matchup. Mary, have you put the, you've been always doing the announcing, so I guess you haven't been at home and watching the incredible service that TSL provides here.
Yeah. No, it has been incredible. I think, you know, the very small charge here to watch the Tankard for the week. Everything else that they've been showing us this season has been free. Been great coverage.
They didn't have to endure the white knuckle drive that we had to get up here.
Yeah, I'll tell you, was not fun. Beautiful town here, though, in Huntsville.
Obviously, a big golf center around here. You got Deerhurst, which is a great resort up here.
Yeah.
There's so many that are within close range as well. I think Port Carling is not too far from here.
Mm-hmm.
Our good friend Wayne Madaw is over there.
Starting to see a few more people in the stands here, Ian. I think weekend is here. Start to see the seats fill.
Well, as we keep going on in this event, I think we know that the games keep getting a little bit more important.
Yeah, we're now getting right down to the excitement of this competition.
So at this point in the in our standings, though, too, it's interesting that only 3 teams have actually been eliminated from any future play.
Yes.
Obviously, the Wayne Tuck rink, the Rob Retchless rink, and Mike McLean's rink have been totally eliminated from any future play. And after the draw this afternoon, 3 more teams will be headed home.
Yeah.
The fact that we're getting closer to the final 4 teams, that I would think that the intensity level will be ramped up real high this match this afternoon.
I would agree with that, especially in our feature match here.
Looks like Mark KEAN will have the hammer here in the first end of play. I think John just missed out on the draw to the button against Glenn Howard here yesterday in the A final. So that's two finals that he has not had the hammer. Mind you, he gave up one in the first end. Glenn tried to blank and he ended up taking one, but then John came back with 3 in the second in that game.
Yeah.
John going to get 30-year-old Tim March to throw the intern guard and get this game underway. Tim March making that perfectly, and now 27-year-old Scott Brandon from Midland going to try to walk this intern draw around and get it perfectly buried behind the March stone. I think Scott got a little wide and off the beaten path, and he's going to come up short. So we're going to have 2 stones out front right away, Mary.
And again, Ian, we've seen that previous games get out on that path that they haven't used during the practice time.
Tim March being asked to throw the out-turn draw around to the top forefoot.
Top 8. Top 8. Weight's good. Come on. Come on. Yeah. Come on. That's why I like it. Come on. Still got it. Still got it. Come on.
And trying to get this thing by, and then he's just going to rub. Scott Brennan throwing the out-turn draw. He's looking looking for a little rub there. Looked like he was warm. He takes advantage of that little rub to scoot in behind Buried.
So Pat Jansen here will play the run back.
Wow, that's the it's a nice stone for young Scott Brandon to get it in there and sort of get some confidence brewing for these guys. Patrick Jansen tries to run back but jams that, unfortunately, and it stays buried. So so Mark Keane has got the upper hand here with the hammer, drawing into lay 2, and he's going to be, he could have 2 perfectly buried behind guards. Mary?
This is looking good.
14-8 on that.
Is there a double there? It's pretty flat. Okay.
So John asking Pat to try the run back again. Might even roll his shooter in the house.
Well, this is a key shot for Patrick. If he just happens to pick that his own stone off, then Mark Keane's going to have the opportunity to draw in lay 3, 2 of them which would be buried.
Good. No, it's good.
Great shot by Patrick Jansen. The fact that he rolls in the rings though too, and helps to narrow down the scoring circle for Mark Keane.
Enough? Yeah. I like at least 2 feet more. Yeah.
32-year-old Brad Kidd here from Peterborough. Try and make the in-turn draw out to the open. So this is kind of one of those shots that, and it's a tough shot because one, it's right down the center, and we know from previous games that in the first 10, this draw down the center is really slow. And he's looking like he's going to come up short here. So this is going to give John Epping the opportunity to probably play another little run back on his own.
All of it.
For throwing the other turn?
Yeah.
Just drawing around, can you just do it? You definitely want.
So trading opportunities here.
I just want to set up for a double, but if you go top
27-year-old Matt Cam from Cornwall going to try to run his own stone back here. What a shot that is. Wow. We were shot away from Mark Keane drawing into lay 3, and now we've got John Epping laying 2. And the angles are not necessarily in the in the best of shape for Mr. KEAN.
Set her back, not too much. That's finesse.
29-year-old Colin Dow from Ottawa going to try to run this front onto one of the Epping stones.
Oh, almost got them both.
What do you think?
John going to be patient with Matt Cam here right now and just try to throw the guard.
I think you throw that.
The only challenge to throwing the guard here, Mary, is that once again he's going to have to venture down this centerline path a little bit, which most of the from practice anyways, more of the outside of the sheet gets broken in because a lot of they keep throwing the draw to the button,
That's right. Yeah.
So the center sheet part of the sheet doesn't really get broke in as well. So see if he can sort of guesstimate what the weight should be.
Where? Easy.
And they're going to have to
Really
go
needs-
hard just to get this over the hog.
No, it's
You know, Ian, it's interesting. You know, you've pointed this out for every game now, and the same thing still continues to happen. I'm surprised that they don't kind of clue into that.
I am bored, but you probably have to throw.
Well, it's I know some of the players are wanting the ice crew to rock the sheets, which is after they nip it, is that they kind of run the rocks a little bit just to make sure the whole sheet kind of gets the pebble sort of gets broken off. And this crew doesn't believe in doing that, and good for them.
Yeah.
They set up the sheet. They want the pebble to hold up through the whole game. And you know, we can't complain about the speed of the ice. It's been top drawer. Like after it's broken in all across the sheet, it stays there the whole game long.
It does. Yeah. Fantastic.
You also made mention that I think we've seen one pick here all week
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Oh, it was. No.
Well, perfect shot by there by Colin Dow to hit and roll and get buried. It's going to leave John Epping no other choice than to run his close stone in here.
let it work all the way. Oh, yep.
How good a shot is that? Well, fantastic by John Epping. That's a little lucky, you know, like he's his first order of business is always just to try to get rid of that stone. If he could have stuffed it right where it was, he would have been happy with that. But to get it to scooch all the way over there, totally buried behind the KEAN rock, that is some great shot making and great luck.
Yeah, a little bit of both. So Mark's just going to play the run back here.
Mark KEAN, our 29-year-old from Woodstock, Ontario, 2015 Ontario champion. He's real close here, making this run back, and if he could stuff it too.
Yeah, not gonna.
Well, he gets rid of it, which is first order of business.
No running this good stuff here, eh?
Pinch tight.
Yeah, he's too.
Makes it good.
John Epping just gonna try to bury around this yellow rock.
I just kind of try to let it go.
Well, give John a good opportunity to try to
That's why I don't want to
dial in draw weight here, though, too. It's kind of like a free shot.
Yeah, not doing it.
Yeah, it looks hot.
Just still, I was
Line's good. Your line's good.
Back line to Hog. I had him at 382 there, so that's
Well, it's going to be you, Pat. It's going to be you, Pat. Yep.
they're not getting a ton of curl yet. It's just starting to break hard now.
You got a good one. Keep going.
If Pat Jensen can keep taking this stone, well, That's a great shot by John Epping.
I just don't think there's any point. Like, I just throw it where
My father, the 1975 Canadian champion, he always said, always show him a little corner.
Yeah.
You always want him chasing.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what John's done here.
You like this feel? Just easier. Holds the broom.
So Mark Keane going to try to pick this out.
I'm not sure I'm in agreement with this shot. I think that you almost have to give John the nod, and the last thing you want to do is let him steal that first point.
Mm-hmm. What would you do here, Ian?
I think I would follow him down. I would probably just try to throw a draw, tap him 6 inches, get your point. I think he's fine here, though.
Scott! Good. Right to it.
That's a heck of a shot, but he was only throwing about 2 inches of that rock.
He was, yeah.
So we will have a blank end here after one end of play, no score.
I didn't think I was there. I thought maybe like halfway.
Other games going on out here this afternoon in Seaside semifinal qualifying games. We've got Sebastian Robayar up against Joe Franz, and he jumps out to a 2-0 lead.
Look at Matt. Didn't go anywhere.
The Cody Moss, Greg Balsden game, the first end was blanked.
Let's go, we got another one, boys. Take that.
With Cody Moss retaining the hammer there, and in the Mark Bice Richard Krell game, first end was blanked as well. Richard Krell maintaining the hammer. So 3 blank ends out here out of the 4 sheets. Mary?
The other option.
Well, we had some big changes of events in our end.
We sure did, yes.
That's why you keep it open.
Hi.
Tim March being asked by John Epping to throw out a guard here.
Real high.
I think Scott Brandon. I think this is the key. One of the key matchups in this game here is Scott Brandon up against Tim March. You know, Tim March has been playing with John Epping for 4 to 5 years now, and should be one of the best leads in the game. Does show some cracks in there the odd time, but Scott Brandon's going to have to try to find a way to stay with him.
No, line's good. Wait only. 14-4, tons of weight. Okay.
That was Scott's issue in our game this morning against Mark Bice. He kind of had great draw weight to the back 8 and back 12.
Yeah, you're not going to get away with that.
Well, maybe we just have to lengthen the ice by 6 feet for him.
It is.
But some teams, Kevin Martin's team, they used to call that a Donnie Bartlett, because Donnie used to throw it to the back 12 foot, and every time they'd find a way to get 2 or 3, and it was because of that stone. They kind of felt it was the lure. And look at Tim March here. Tim's trying to come down to it, and he ends up throwing it through the rings. Like, to me, that's a disgusting miss for a curler of Tim March's caliber.
Well, but Ian, all week long here, I have seen that from a lot of the leads. Crucial to be in front of the tee line. I've seen time and time again where they're going heavy, going deep.
Line's pretty good. Come on, guys.
You wouldn't see that in women's curling.
Yeah, we're good. Oh, I'm good. Easy.
I had to say it.
Sorry, I just burped a little bit.
Well, I'm telling it like it is, Ian. I'm actually not that impressed.
You're not impressed with the men's curling?
I'm not. I'm surprised at some of the miscues out here.
No, Emma Miskew plays third for Rachel Holman.
Big hack. Big post. Hack.
Patrick Jansen being asked to remove this stone. Well executed by Patrick. I know Patrick's significant other, Clancy Grandy, who has been playing third for Allison Flaxey.
Yeah.
And they were at the women's Olympic trials.
Yes, they were.
I think they were a little disappointed in the Ontario Scotties this year, not being able to come out, being one of the top 4 seeds this year as well. Brad Kidd trying to hang this rock around if he can and continue to lay 2, and he does just that. Great shot by Brad.
A little softer than I thought. Yeah. Weight was good.
Kind of weight, Pat? Good.
Pat just going to try to remove the one KEAN stone and hopefully flop in behind cover here. Well, he won't get any inside roll, Mary, but he'll hang around for shot stone, forcing Mark KEAN to look after it.
Whoa! Yep! Whoa, 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 whoa! Yep! Yep! Right to it! Right to it, right to it. Good. Nice throw.
Matt Cam now going to take his run at making the hit and flop inside. The spot over here has been really straight, and I think everybody kind of sort of throws it, and they sort of float it back a tiny little bit, and it just does not come up. It will not move.
And Mark KEAN just happy here to keep hitting and sticking out in the wing. Running out of rings here though soon.
No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No. No, off.
Right on.
He's got a nice soft weight here, but he's popped this out. He may jam this on his own stone at the back. Or is it going to come up enough? Just comes up enough. I don't think this is what John was sort of planning for this end. Is that this is one of those shots where you got to take a shot at making the hit and roll. You just can't keep doing this. And like even if you roll out, you force Mark's team to place it in the ring somewhere that's not going to give you a double. He may go around the center and then you can freeze do it and hopefully kill the end.
This one has a chance. No, over.
Well, at least he gave it a chance.
He did, exactly. Got to play those really tight and use your sweepers.
Colin Dow here going to try to walk one in here. Like, to me, this is kind of playing into John's hand a little bit. I'm not sure that you particularly want to draw around the center. I probably would have drawn to the side here and kept making John try to make the perfect roll, which is really difficult in this ice, especially that far of a roll.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's going to go a little deep here.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, Mark. It's hard for this.
We've been on this fast ice all year,
You think you can, like, pair off nose it with board? No?
I knew when I let it go, it would.
Okay.
You know, the last thing John wants to do in this second end is drop a really cheap, silly, easy deuce to Mark.
I just want to get it buried enough to do a double.
You know, I think the shot is to try to make the soft board weight double here if you can. If it comes up and you hit and flop inside, then all of a sudden Mark's going to have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can go across the face if you want. Go across the face. 410. Yeah.
So John Epping with his first.
Yeah, I kind of figured you could really quick because in practice I feel like 4 and it's probably the hard one.
Tip!
This has got to move.
You gotta go. Hard, Tim. Hard.
May get the double the other way.
Get it out.
Wow, that was really soft too.
Do you think it's gonna run straight in here?
Yeah, I do. I think it's straight everywhere here. Might come up a bit. It's right there.
I think that should be close. They should be able to hold it too.
Yeah, exactly.
Does he want to roll here, Ian, or just hit and stick?
I think you want to nose it because if you nose it, John Epping's probably going to have to try to play the slash double.
Yeah.
If you hit and roll inside, if you're rolling in behind perfect, John's just going to freeze to it, right?
Yeah.
And try to kill the end.
Gotta go.
Hard! Hard, right to it! Right to it!
Set.
Okay.
Well, this is going to leave John Epping no alternative than try to make the slash double and hopefully bail his team out of this end.
Real nice throw.
Popped real close.
Good spot.
Yeah. That one doesn't
A
quite
little
float.
float out would have been good. No, exactly. It just runs. Yeah. Inside the broom and full through. Yeah, okay. So good. Oh, good. Whoa!
He's close. He's close. Oh. That's an unfortunate jam. So Mark KEAN here in the second end is going to have the opportunity to strike first blood, get 2 points here with a draw to the, all he needs is full part of the 12-foot.
Yep.
Probably get 420 there too. Just close. Give it to you guys. Look at the other shot. Full 12.
Full 12, guys. Full
Easy,
12.
guys. Easy.
Easy. Sure?
14-7 to Hog.
Well, is that going to hang around? Matt's going hard. That will hang in the back 12. So that will be 2 points for Mark KEAN here to conclude the second end of play. KEAN jumps to a 2-0 lead on John Epping here in this B-side final of the Recharge with Milk Men's Ontario Tankard. Other scores from around the sheets. Sebastien Robillard has jumped to a 5-0 lead on Joe Franz after 2 ends of play.
Keep broom down. Keep it broom down. Silver curling.
Mark Bice and Richard Krell are tied at 0, still playing the second end. And Greg Ballston stole a single point in the second end to go up 1-0 on Cody Moss. Well, Scott Brandon here has just put it on the forefoot, and now John Epping is going to have to ask Tim March to throw a corner guard, and they're going to have to go to work.
They seem to be having some sort of discussion here on this call.
Yeah, you don't know what it's going to do.
Not sure what.
Do you think this is better going this way? Center guard?
I think they're just thinking about how to get around some of these stones, because I think the center lines are, I think, a wee bit high. And trying to cross it and get around the corner guard is starting to prove to be really, really tough. And so this is why he's thinking, well, you know what, if that's the case, let's just throw a center guard and we'll use it as our corner guard. Which, you know, to me, you're rolling the dice.
Tight.
He just doesn't want Jim March tossing this into the rings and destroying the opportunity to get aggressive here.
Oh, I'm with. I didn't think I hogged mine by 6 feet.
Yeah, this spot's quicker.
Scott Redding being asked to throw the intern draw around.
Oh, keep the room down. Yep.
Try to get it half buried, if not fully buried, behind the Epping center guard.
Gotta go. No. Yep. Ooh.
How much, Daddy?
Spot.
Gotta go a bit, John. Are we?
Tim March can try to come down and lock this thing on if he can. They're going to have to go hard to get it by.
Freezing. Little bounce.
Oh.
Yeah, I think you got to roll away, don't you? He knows it. It's not that great.
Well, this is just wide open for Brad Kidd to make contact on the Epping stone and make it go away.
Wait's good.
Oh. No.
Wow, he's really wide here.
Got nothing. Yep.
Not happy with that one. Can't blame him.
Know this spot.
Well, this is going to give John Epping an opportunity here to get one in there and sort of corner freeze it and then The angles will not be very good for Mark KEAN. Patrick Jansen, the 30-year-old from Toronto.
It's there. Can we tap freeze, John? Back 4.
Wow.
Back 4.
Trying to decide what to do with it. They're seeing it's back 4-foot weight.
Back 4.
Which actually, he ends up making a pretty good shot. Actually, it's...
She's scared. This one slightly. Any tighter or any wider, you're going to miss by 10 feet.
Solid. Yep. Solid. Solid. Close. Yep. Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Scott. Okay. That's fine.
That middle blue stay in there for a while.
Just so straight.
Make it. There's a lot of ways you can make it. Thought you were back 4, Patty.
I think John's going to ask for a little... I don't know if he's straight freezing in there or if he's going to try to play a little chap and lie.
I think the chap and lie was the call.
I think we're a little light.
Right there.
Are we? Looks light. We're light, John. Top 8. Just.
Got to go hard for line and weight here.
Top 8. Good shot, Pat.
Wow. Mark KEAN's in a bit of a... Is it... Can you say he's in a world of hurt right now?
Here. Kill that.
Gotta blast something here.
Well, he knows if he can get rid of the...
Just try and stuff it here.
We gotta stick it in the rings.
That?
We gotta stick that
If he
in
can
the
get rid of
rings.
that back stone, at least and move his own stone, at least he can make the other two go away with a stone later in the end. Colin Dow trying to clip his own in here.
That's fine.
And he hangs around for shot rock, so that's a great shot. Trying to absolutely stuff it with that weight was really difficult.
Right. You didn't seem happy with that, but I'm thinking pretty good result.
You just have to hit. I mean, yeah, that's what he would do.
Well, if Matt Cam can make the KEAN stone go away, they'd be laying 2.
Big thing is getting rid of that so that they don't all jam.
But he'd have to hang it around out in the 8, just in the 8 foot to make sure he was third shot.
That?
Are we getting a little greedy or what? What do you think will start? The only thing is you're going a little fresher out here for the hack roller.
I think they're just struggling a little bit with the sheet exactly when it's curling.
Back line, John.
Anytime they add weight.
So I throw short of hack should be close.
Matt Cam going to try and tap the KEAN stone through and hang around. I think in a perfect world, he'd almost like it to roll out the 12-foot, even if it's not third stone.
Third.
Whoa. What a great shot. Great control there by Matt Cam. But this is going to give Colin Down the opportunity to try to
Like this.
flop back in if he can.
Like this. You want to run the guard.
Didn't come down.
Mind the run.
That's too like forward.
Into this.
Didn't come down much.
Or into this.
I like the run there, actually, like that. Yeah.
Okay.
I was just looking for that.
I like this. Nice to have him.
What would you do, Mary?
I guess the only spot slow that probably right now is that edge button.
He runs this, he could definitely get rid of the 2 stones. Actually, is it possible to get the 3rd stone on the way by?
Whoa, whoa,
No. No.
Really close.
Oh, jeez.
Easy double. I think he hit and roll on feet.
You're really nice. Yeah. Expected it to run there.
I'd think you try to nose this thing and just carry him off the one blue there, just to rearrange that, just so there's no easy double for and or triple for John Epping, or not for Mark Keane. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm wondering, Ian, does he have to even make a play on this yellow rock? This is what he's calling.
Doesn't hurt. Yeah. That's a good spot here, guys.
I think he wants to remove this yellow and sort of move the other blue ones around.
Well, if he can just sort of, like I say, carry him off or feather off.
Not bad. Pretty good.
Well, I think if he,
I'm gonna get stuff.
I mean, noses that, I think that goes underneath right now.
Yeah, I think it goes under it.
I expect some heat coming here from Mr. Keane.
Yeah.
John Epping team laying 4 right now,
Double.
with
Or if you want,
2 Keane stones to come.
Yeah, like
Make
that
that
one,
double.
is that one there at all?
make that double. That one's always going to be there for this on your next one. And if he ever goes to the wrong spot here, you might have a triple.
Well, if he knows that he has to hit it, right?
That's true too.
Then he might set us up for a triple.
Okay.
Back.
Okay.
There.
Yeah. I like that.
Like your turn.
I like the in.
In. Okay.
You might even get lucky if you do a tick bang.
Just try to nose it. Yeah, make the double. Is that? Yeah.
Mark Keane going to throw some heat on this. Hopefully make 2 or 3 go away.
Whoa!
Whoa.
Yep! Yeah! Whoa! Whoa!
Going
Playing the
straight down.
double here.
Okay. Oh, that was
Pretty
an
good.
adventure.
So John now has to worry about what he's going to leave Ian.
Should have a double.
Well, you know, he talked about you can't roll it. If you roll it behind the corner guard, he may end up leaving.
Good adjustment.
End up leaving him a triple, or
Right.
give him something to hit and roll at 2 and be buried behind the corner guard.
Got going so hard cross body. I was like, whoa.
Back's hurting.
Yeah, I can understand why it might after that.
You're just rolling this way.
I assume so.
find a way to make a double.
John Epping here doesn't want to leave an easy triple. Well,
Just smash that double. I don't think there's a triple there.
No.
listening to Colin Dow, he doesn't think there's a triple, but I think Mark Keane at this point will take the double and almost concede the deuce after the Epping team laying 4 at one point.
Same result.
Is right on the center line good?
When it grabs the center line, it'll go.
No, if I hit it right on the center line, is it good?
Center line? Okay.
Like a half a rock, is that good?
Big shout out to the ice crew for looking after the announcers here today. Always nice to know who's got your back.
Yeah, a little pleasant surprise.
Yep. Whoa. 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 Whoa.
Wow,
Good.
just make sure he gets the easy double, and John Epping will have an open draw to the rings to score his 2 points and tie this game up. This B final of the Recharge with Milk Men's Ontario Provincial Tankard.
Give you way too much space. So straight. Even the second one I gave you nose on the rock, it didn't do anything. I'm like calling it because I'm thinking it's going to jump. Hindsight, it was better to be inside, even if you hit half of that.
Now I got one of Pat Jansen's almost at 16 seconds from hog to hog. I don't know if is it.
This spot's really straight.
Like this one looks like it doesn't need any help.
It's coming in really hard now. Okay. Go hit some new stuff in T-line.
That's 14 and a half. And they haven't really touched this thing. And easily to the back 8 foot, but that's 2 points for John Epping here. To conclude the third end of play, we have a tie game, 2-2.
Back into it.
Almost.
Mr. Keane and his crew will take the hammer into the fourth end of play.
Good throw on that last one. Really good throw. That's the one you want.
Yeah.
Action going on all Seaside games here. On the 3 other sheets here, Mary, we've got Sebastien Robillard up 5-2 over Joe Franz, and he has the hammer, and they're playing the fourth end of play. Mark Bice and Richard Krell. Richard Krell up 1-0 on Mark Bice, and they are continuing to play in the third end. Cody Moss and Greg Balsden are tied at 1.
It could be more. It's probably 50.
And they are playing in the fourth end.
We're going to like clean. 8. Lots of like.
Tim March is going to throw up that elusive center guard once again. See if they can get anything going behind it.
I'm assuming he's going for halfway.
Lots of curling action going on across the country, Mary. We've obviously got the Canadian Scotties going on and out in Penticton, and they're down to their championship pool. Tim March slipping into the rings here. I don't think any of them will be too happy about that. And they're just going to head away here.
Yep.
We have the Olympics to look forward to in this month of February.
We do.
The Olympic mixed doubles will start off the festivities.
Just coming over the top of it.
Yeah, we're going to have lots of curling to watch on television in the next month. I know some people that will be very happy about that.
Your mother and my mother.
Yeah, so Tim March putting that first rock in the house is disaster, really.
I'm just a little surprised that John would walk over and hit this. Why he wouldn't try to get the center guard in play with Tim's second stone. So it looks like we're going to have a relatively clean end here.
Stay with it, Brett. No. Still going out.
All the other games out here are seaside games, so that will eliminate 3 more teams after this draw today. Of course, Glenn Howard already has the bye in the 1-2 game. I believe that'll be tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And our featured sheet here, they are
probably
battling out here to get that game up against Glenn Howard tomorrow afternoon.
I see what we're feeling.
I didn't think. Looks close. Is it?
Yeah, actually.
Just tight, John.
You know, John Epping being number 8 in the World Curling Tour Order of Merit. They've played a lot this year, I think, for the lead up into the Canadian Olympic trials. They tried to play as much as they could.
Mm-hmm.
You know, their success so far, I would say, would kind of be, I'm sure in John's mind, a little bit so-so. You know, they're currently about 37 or 38 wins and 31 losses, which is about a 50-50 record. But when you're playing against the top teams, the top 10 or 15 teams in the world all the time, you know, that's pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. And they're definitely considered the favorite, or one of the 2 favorites at this competition here this week.
Whereas you look at Mark KEAN, he's number 49 on the World Curling Tour Order of Merit, but his season long, he's at 35 wins and 15 losses. You know, so he wins, you know, approximately 66% of his games, but I would think that his competition all season long has probably been more second-tier competition.
Right. Yeah, more in the Ontario circuit.
And I'm not taking anything away from him. I think they're a high-quality team. But the way you get up to the league with the John Eppings is play a lot of those games against second-tier teams. And the success that they've shown on the tour, obviously, they've got 1 victory this year. They've got 3 second places. They've got a 3rd place, and they've got and they're made the quarterfinals in another event. So, you know, good on them.
This is the KEAN team.
KEAN team,
yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
How long? Easy on the spot. Easy.
Whereas, you know, John Epping is, you know, he's been semi-finalist in 3 different slam events this year. You know, and then made quarterfinals in 3 other events. So, you know, from his side, it's been a successful season.
You know, not all these teams can go and play the tour. It's so time-consuming. Epping team, I don't think there are any children on that team. So that gives them a little more leeway to do all the traveling that they do.
I saw Colin Dow this morning in the lobby of the hotel with his wife and child. I think it was his wife and child.
Yeah, I think Mark KEAN has a couple of little kids too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's difficult.
They were playing it in.
And hence, though, that they're the challenges to play the game at the top levels. You know, you look at the people like the Wayne Madaws, you know, the Glenn Howards. They've all had kids and continue to play the game at the top level. The Kevin Martins, you know, everybody seems to have to try to find that unique balance in their lives.
Yeah, it's you know, and jobs are another issue. You're basically taking a ton of time off to do these tournaments.
Well, but some of these teams get they get some pretty good financial backing. Some of them do.
Yeah.
And they can go out and earn some secondary income. So Matt Cam not taking any chances. Everybody's kind of throwing bullets here, trying to save up some time, bank some time here. Both teams with 38 minutes of thinking time.
Nope.
We're obviously playing 10 ends and 4 rock rule. WCF going to the 5 rock rule for next season.
Yes.
Yeah.
which they currently play in the Grand Slam events, but the Grand Slam events also only play 8 ends.
Yeah. So I would assume, Ian, that they bring this 5 rock rule and we continue to play 10 ends. Are they going to give us a few more minutes on the clock?
Bank a little time.
I would hope
not a
so.
bad thing.
Correct.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Nope.
I think you still do
Hit
that,
it
don't you?
anyways. Yeah.
All right, or you could try
Well,
it.
I just want to make sure we roll in, right?
Yeah, thing is, if you do this, he's going to try and go here.
Yeah.
Make your life a little tough. If you do this.
Still got to make it. That's going across the. That's
True.
tough going.
All right.
that.
Just rip it. Just rip it then.
I just want to make sure we don't leave it there. That's all.
So do you want to just rip it?
Okay. Yeah, do you want to try and roll into the house though, or? We were worried about him going around, but I mean, no, exactly. No, that's what I was thinking. It's a tough shot. He's got like no rings to work with. Okay, I like this. Just roll out. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yep, hard. Whoa. Whoa.
Yep.
Hard.
Whoa.
Hard. I thought,
I just saw yours back out so much. I know. I thought mine would do the same. Thought mine would do the same as theirs.
slid to the inside of the rock. You never got out there.
I just thought it would still back out though.
You didn't set it as hard as I thought you would, because I thought you knew you were sliding really tight. Yeah.
Well, that spot I don't want to set it too much because I've seen everything float. I was just tight, eh? Just foot tight or what?
Just tight slide. The throw is fine. You just
Okay. Close. Yep.
just slid straight tight.
Hard.
It's a long ways
Yes.
out there. I understand.
Hard.
Set. No. Okay, John.
Is there a spot you want to see?
Yeah.
You want to see
Outro.
that spot again?
Well, there's. Yeah. Normal. That better?
Oh, you didn't want to give her?
Thank you.
Blank ends, so after 4 ends of play, we have a tie score of 2-2. The KEAN team holding onto the hammer. Other games out here, Greg Ballston just grabbed 2 points in the 4th end to take a 3-1 lead over Cody Moss. And Sebastian Robillard
Yeah.
took a single and now has a 6-2 lead over Joe Franz after 4 ends. Mary, anything with respect to the Olympics that you're looking forward to and you will be keying in on?
Yeah, we're not.
Oh man, I just love watching the Olympics. Not just the curling. I love it all. But of course, the curling will be top on my list. More so the 4-man team, as opposed to the mixed doubles.
Can I go?
Yeah, the mixed doubles is the only challenge with it is it's not something a lot of us have a lot of experience playing, so
Right.
it's not near and dear to our heart. So like but everything I've heard about the teams that do play it, they absolutely love it. It's a young person's game just
Yeah.
because there's so much sweeping involved and jumping up and sweeping your own rock. And
Right.
you know, I guess I don't see people my age jumping up and sweeping their own rock.
It would never get back down. Yeah, you know, I did. I really enjoyed watching it, the trials. I have not played it myself, but I do know anybody that's tried it really likes it.
And I think the difference between in the final game between Brad Gushu, obviously, and John Morris, obviously Brad with Val Sweeting and John Morris and Caitlin Laws. You know, you think about it, both John and Caitlin play third, and so they do a lot of sweeping.
Right.
Versus both Val and Brad being skips.
That's right.
Don't do a lot of sweeping,
Yeah.
and so I'm curious if that was sort of the difference in the final.
I personally think you're right, Ian. I think that made a big difference. Well, we've got good representatives there. Johnny Moe and Caitlin Laws.
I'm kind of excited to watch a little bit of the.
Can I go, John?
I want to see some of the South Korean. Well, actually, I want to say Korean hockey team now that has joined forces with some of the North Korean players. I want to see how that kind of works out.
Yeah.
You know, I think as Canadians, we want to see peace all around the world,
Right.
and the fact that they're going to unify to some degree. You know, whether it is in sport, maybe it's for political reasons that they're actually doing it. But you know what? Great. If it happens for political reasons, I don't think Korea is a threat to medal in the women's side anyways. So, you know what? If it brings world peace, fantastic.
Yep, agreed.
Really good.
Hit only. Stay close.
Now, do you know if there's going to be a Russian curling team going?
Correct. Yes, there is.
There is.
Victoria Moiseeva is.
Okay, because there was the whole ban on the Russian athletes.
Correct, but that's they're sending a full contingent. They'll be under sort of the Olympic flag as Olympic athletes from Russia. I believe that's the. I don't know what the official title is, but.
Okay.
Thought there. Okay. Wait, it's close.
Patrick Jansen being asked to try to get inside and freeze on the KEAN stone. Very well done by Patrick Jansen. I think it's funny. He's upset with that, and I think that's okay.
Do not like guard. Oh, with the guard. Okay. Mind that. Don't mind that.
Which one?
I don't mind with the guard, right? I don't mind ripping the guard. I'm not opposed.
Well, if you rip the guard, you give John an opportunity to make a tap freeze, and then they're not going to have any angles. So it'd be interesting to see what John does here.
Hard! Really gotta go. Good.
I don't know what we do now.
Shot.
Well peeled there by Brad Kidd. I think John, I think he plays the tap freeze here.
You say you didn't like ripping the guard?
I don't know.
Oh. I thought you were saying I don't like the guard.
At first I said that because I thought you said throw a guard.
Oh.
They said guard is
No.
I don't think that's a good idea.
No.
Sort of scary.
I just thought their angles weren't that great.
What is he doing? Do you see the call? Is he?
No, he didn't really indicate, and that's a lot of ice for a tap. So,
Yeah, he's probably throwing the center guard back up.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I was kind of thinking.
I know you do it again.
Yeah, you can go a bit.
Taps on Matt's first.
Half.
Just kind of thinking we'd tap.
How's the line, John? Halfway high. Halfway. Half. Halfway high. Good spot, right? Oh, I think so too.
Just straight peel, right?
Scary.
Mark just going to straight peel this again.
I'm just going to hit it now, and they probably play a double.
Should be good.
Yep.
You might get it into a blanket then.
Good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For sure.
I got to send a shout out to my brother-in-law Craig Brown down in the U.S. tuning in.
Mm-hmm.
I hope he gets all his issues with his chickens and his dogs worked out.
Yeah, I was going to say he probably should stay. Or we're going to be yelling. at
It'll
each
come
other.
up, sure. No, I like it.
Yeah.
Who has their own chickens these days?
I know. I know.
He's not even on a farm.
Have you been to his place?
Yeah.
Yeah? Little chickens running around?
Yeah.
Really?
Whole new meaning to the hens in the hen house.
Easy. Easy.
Wow, he needs us to move up, I think.
Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Just squeeze
Well,
Got a double?
Yeah. Yep.
he can take the easy double. And if he doesn't if he tries to overthrow this thing, it's going to just run straight down the sheet.
I was worried, then not worried.
What do you like in here?
I just wanted to.
And if he noses it, it's going to bring the soft double into play for John.
Hook it there, I might flash.
And then all of a sudden, he may be laying 3 out of this.
Thanks, all.
Okay.
Throw this a
I
little
wasn't
harder.
sure what he wanted. I thought he wanted to nose it. The problem is he makes this back harder for me. I roll a little bit less. It's way better for me.
Whoa.
Close. Whoa, whoa. Oh.
Perfect.
Shot. Get out. Shot.
Great shot by Colin Dow. Make that double. You know, John, it's kind of like
Always gonna want to go across center.
he kind of worked himself into this end. Now he needs a big shot out of Matt Cam here to sort of kill any momentum here for Mark KEAN's team. Oh, I think he poked this one a bit.
Easy. Easy. Hard.
A lot of great shot by Matt Cam. Well swept by both Patrick Jansen and Tim March as well.
Just run there. Yeah, it's fine.
Just full out. Good.
Anything in norm? Okay, we're going for like what, 2/3-ish? Pretty close.
My body just took
2/3 gets
Yeah,
you way
and
over
it's
here.
just so straight.
Where you want the ice here? They're probably going a hair straighter.
Oh, we might have a chance to get over, but
So Johnny looking for the big roll here, Ian.
Well, I think he's just looking to rearrange the furniture here. But he doesn't want to nose it because then it gives Mark a really easy double, and all of a sudden the blank's in play again. I think for him, he would love to hit this and roll way over to this side of the sheet over in the 12-foot. You know, hopefully force him to have to take a point this end.
Yeah.
Hard pat. Hard pat. Hard, hard. Tim, let's go. Go, go, go. Go, 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 go. Whoa, whoa, it's good. Perfect.
What a great shot. That's a great shot. You know, it does give Mark KEAN the hit and roll in behind John Epping Stone, but if he does make the hit and roll, John's either going to have about a 4-foot straight back, or John may have a rock to freeze to behind the tee line.
Fresh here. Like there?
I like there if you're throwing firm.
Okay.
If you're throwing normal, I like there. But if you like
You
firm,
think it's going to move here?
Hey?
I don't think it's going to move here.
Should, but again, fresh helmet might grab.
Thinking firm, but we're thinking firm, but just because it's nothing's been thrown this way. Try and roll it closer so I can make the double. And the other options we just draw around. Yeah.
Try to listen in a little bit. Mark going to try to make the hit and roll here.
Close.
I haven't seen much thrown away over here, Mary.
Nice attempt there.
Well, for John Epping here, he's not going to get cute. At this point, he's hoping that he's got the force on, so he's just going to try to hit and roll right back to where that rock was. And then end up forcing Mark Keane to either draw for his point or play a hit.
I like hitting regardless. I like hitting regardless. Yeah, I'm just not dialed into my fairway yet.
See, John kind of threw that back from the center line, so this should run a little bit more.
Good throw, John.
That is a great throw by John Epping.
Is there a blank here?
Well, no, because I
Little
think
slash?
the top one would probably jam over here on the, possibly on the side. And
Control on that.
at this point, I think it's. I think you want to maintain the advantage of being up in the game. So I think he wants his 1 point. You should try to take his 1 point.
Normal's good too, but if you, whatever you're feeling,
Like
take
forward.
normal's rules. Forward, pit.
Board? Yeah.
Just over the top.
Yeah.
See the one that went
He was
over
like
there,
control
just
maybe?
went over the top.
Is that too much ice or is that good? Board?
Mark Keane going to try to follow John Epping down here with this out-turn hit. And
Yes, boy. Yep. Whoa.
Gotta go.
Whoa. 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 Close. Clean. Clean.
Yes!
Yep.
good looking shot coming down here.
Clean!
Clean. Good throw. Come on.
And a great toss by Mark Keane to score his single point here in the 5th end of play. At the end of 5 ends of play, Mark Keane will lead by a score of 3-2. That will send us off into our 5th end break. So out come the orange peelers and
At the picnic. It's time for the picnic.
Thanks.
So we will take a 5-minute break here, Ian. Be back in the 6th end.
excellent.
The double.
Welcome back to the Men's Recharge with Milk Ontario Provincial Tankard. We are here at the Canada Summit Centre in Huntsville, Ontario. We are in our B-side final qualifying game here between Mark KEAN and John Epping. Mark KEAN just scoring a point there in the 5th end to take a 3-2 lead.
Back 4 should be good.
3 other games going on right now across all the sheets. Seaside semifinal qualifying games going on.
I'm just cleaning it.
Sebastian Robayar has a 6-3 lead over Joe Franz. Richard Krell has a 5-2 lead over Mark Bice. And Greg Balston has a 3-2 lead over Cody Moss.
There we go.
422. Oh, pissed off!
Well, Scott Brennan finally got a rockin' in front of the tee line.
What a shot.
Oh my God.
What a shot.
I think they're even celebrating on the ice.
That's funny. A little bit of sarcasm in
You
there.
got a fist pump from Ted.
Now let's see if Tim March can do the same.
Well, usually if they come out from the 5th end break, you know, the ice keens up just a tiny little bit, and I don't think Tim March wants to slide this one into the rings. He will get some evil stares from John Epping if he does. Oh, and it stops in time. There's nothing worse than the wrath of your skip by throwing that one in the rings.
Absolutely. And you know, you can't blame the skip, really. These are usually throwing nothing but guards and top 4 draws, so
Go then.
should have a decent idea of the draw weight.
Gotta go. Okay, Brad. Easy. Whoa. No. Okay.
All right.
Scott Brandon making good on his 2.
Uh-oh. We haven't.
Yeah,
with
the weight perfect weight like that, it's gonna finish hard.
Top 8 on its own.
No, exactly. Little bump.
Tim March being asked now to come down and freeze to this stone.
We're T.
Nice pair.
Maybe. We can go around if you want.
Go. Pretty good.
Back 4.
He's going around you, isn't he?
Well, he ends up being heavy. But that is not a horrid shot. Actually, you know, he gets it in and it's totally buried. You never know if that one might come into play for a second point later in the end, Mary.
Yes.
Nice high guard. Should be plenty. Come in. Tons. Tight. Coming in.
Tight.
Come in. Go here.
Tight. Just tight. Top 12 tight.
Finish it, Colin. Finish it. Keep going. Hard. It's a corner. Keep going. Okay. No.
That's what I'm thinking.
Brad Kidd puts up a nice tight guard.
That one?
Yeah, this is going to give John a little tiny opportunity here to play a run through double and possibly come over and tick his own rock into the rings.
Throw a good one, bud.
They might be able to make it off their own double. Like they might fit you out.
No, he's just going to nose it.
I'm not loving being down either. Yeah. He's still freeze the back.
But that's not, he's in real good shape right now. I think Mark Keane's going to have to be real careful. He's going to throw the in-turn draw, in-turn freeze right now to try to nullify that rock at the back 8 foot.
Yeah, it's not going to be as quick as this spot, but it will be like at least right up speed.
As we listen into the boys, they're trying to communicate a weight to them just so everybody's on the same page.
Keep it close. Wait to be close. 7.
Yeah.
Question is, what is it going to run at here?
Yeah, hard.
That should have been back 12.
Short.
Like digging like
Keep going,
crazy.
keep it going.
19.
Keep it going, yes.
15-7. He's in a good pebble now.
Scotty, go, 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 go.
I think they got that a heck of a lot further than they were expecting.
Leaves John a shot here, though.
Guess for weight.
I had one in the first. Thought it was close.
Try the double and roll here, Ian.
Is a guess for weight on that side?
30-year-old Patrick Jansen
You guys
from
like
Toronto
that?
here, going to try a little
Do you
board
like
weight
something
hit,
else,
and
or-
even if he can get the double on it, that would be a bonus.
It's either that or I like coming in. You gotta come in.
Quiet! Board! Board!
He's real close. Don't want to over curl and take out your own, or even want to. Oh, that's still a good shot. Gets the rock off the 4 foot.
Make that a double.
Better.
May leave a double here, but if he doubles and rolls away, it's going to give John Epping the opportunity to go back in there, or even play a hit and flop on the other open stone. Colin Dow, the 29-year-old Ottawa native, to try to make this quiet double. This has got some moving to do, Mary, or it's real close.
He's got it.
Go, 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 go. Keep going. Hit.
That's still a good shot.
Yeah.
He's laying 2.
I really just, you're that good tonight.
John going to try to hit
I
and roll
really
in
liked it.
behind,
Yeah.
That's
or even try to hit and roll over and
Straight
nestle
two.
over to the
Yeah.
other
What is it?
keen stone.
I know. We can't all make our 2. Can't all make our 2 here.
Heel.
Yeah.
You said 2/3, right?
I think that's really important here. He's got to keep this in the rings.
Yeah.
If you roll it across the face or even nose it isn't horrid, but he doesn't want to roll out.
Hard tip. Hard tip. Hard.
That's a good shot by Matt Cam. I think Mark Keane will be forced to play the straight back here.
Yeah.
freezer, hit run.
Where is it?
Top 8. Biting 4.
Top 8, we freeze, we're giving him 2.
Sweet. I hit 7/8 there. Good sweep. Rolled far for 7/8. I was worried I wasn't getting under.
We do that. We do that. He probably just plays that.
Yeah. All right. So
There's no
you're
point.
good. That's a good point.
It's going where I throw it.
Yeah. One sec.
Colin going to come down and have a little conversation with Mark Keane over this.
Than I thought.
We'll listen in.
Because we make this freeze. Easier to make that. We're gonna have to make the run at some point anyway.
Yeah, so I like it now.
Try it now.
Yeah.
Okay.
You never nut it. It's
I know. I agree with you.
normal.
Sure. Whatever you like.
What do you like? I like normal.
We haven't really thrown normal down this path. We've only thrown peels. You go college try. So normal?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. You guys think that's a lot of ice?
Colin going to try to run this rock straight back. He's not going to try to overthrow this thing. He's just going to try to throw normal weight so they can control it with the brooms. Really important to try to make the straight back and stick it and keep your center guard right there.
Yeah! Hard!
Gee, it's my fault. Great throw.
Real good attempt by
No, you're right. It's not a bad roll.
Colin. Real good attempt.
Great throw.
So close.
I just waited too long.
I know.
So this is one of those shots right now is that you get shaped first by drawing. Throw the in-turn draw in around the center rocks and
really
get
wanna
shaped. Like if you
stick it,
get
like,
full
if you
8
have
foot
to
and
hit
be
I
totally
agree.
buried,
Yeah, I like the way.
I'm not sure what Mark Keane would
The
do.
roll here jams, so.
True.
You probably
gonna
have
have
to
to
follow
roll
him
out.
in there.
Well,
No choice.
If he hits and rolls here and gets
Yeah,
buried,
so
he'll be laying 2.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
But Mark Keane would kind of say, well, look, I got a tough shot, so I might as well make a draw and get buried and be shot rock.
Yeah. We like
Real close. I think it's just fully exposed. May give Mark Keane the opportunity to make the double right back.
board. You should be able to still make the roll, but I
You
think
can still make a double with board,
you
too.
might. Yeah, you can, because you just got to move that.
Do you like that ice?
Sure.
Board?
Yeah,
That should move
I think
up.
the board here, it should cut. The
Yeah.
wings should cut out here a little bit.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he's right about that. The wings will cut.
Board.
Well, to me, I think the shot, when you're
You guys
throwing
like it?
this shot, you know, a lot of teams get too focused on making the double.
Right.
I mean, the first shot is make the hit and roll.
Yeah.
Because if you make the hit and roll, you're probably making the double.
So the ties.
I think it's more, should be more concerned about where your shooter ends up
Right.
than the other two.
Whoa, whoa, close.
Close.
Whoa.
This guy's
No.
No, Scott.
Right off. Scott.
Scott!
Right. Scott all day. Really hard, Scotty.
Down the chute.
Just ran straight.
Wow.
Weight was pretty close. It was in the
Well,
ballpark.
this is,
Ran like 8 feet.
Yeah, too much ice.
Unless you want to throw the
John's got a
that
really
stretch.
interesting, he could actually split his own rock and lay 3.
No matter what.
Just ran
Or
a
do you
lot.
get
Yeah.
position and make sure
I like
you get
the throw.
your
Figured because it's a
guaranteed
straight spot
do
coming
you guys
down,
think?
it would go more that.
I thought it would go harder into that spot too.
Because especially when we went
What
this
path
way, it
do you
went
like most?
crazy. I mean, I set it back a little bit, but that's.
I love the way you threw that. I thought you threw it
I
great.
thought it would come up real good. Weight was nice.
Solid board, nice solid. I love the weight too.
Brad got a little
Solid
wider when
board.
he played his grade. I thought he threw it
Anyways,
really hard and he ended up where? Like top
I don't
8.
think he's going to be leaving it like top 12. So he's going to be coming in top 8, so you can freeze him and do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not too bad.
Just make sure we get a time on
Pack
it.
waiters, so we should be close
Yeah,
to
exactly.
in here. Okay. Okay, let's make that.
Well, listening in, it's
Get Brad on the
Okay.
split and you can take the hot dog. Brad?
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 you know what, he doesn't, he gets this thing buried in the top of the 4-foot.
Like, this
Mark Keane's got to make a decision whether he's just going to throw the in-turn to freeze to him and try to hopefully, you know, take 3 out of play. He'll concede 2, but he won't concede 3.
What do you think you can do for a curl, John? Till the end? Okay. Make good.
Could also go to the wing. But I don't think he likes going to the wing right now.
We haven't thrown anything. I haven't thrown anything to the wings because I saw that first end.
Yeah, I know. They got spooked after that first
That's
end.
kind of what it's been like all week.
I think
Now, historically, we've seen on this
I think
sheet,
throwing the wings is totally fine.
there's kind of a spot in here where all of a sudden it just sort of starts cranking
Probably
over.
not too bad.
On some of our historical games, I think a lot of the draws of the button here
The middle's
have been at least to the edge
Yeah.
of the 8-foot. Here's John, kind of middle of the 8-foot with his broom.
John has a fairly soft release too, so
See if we can't get a line for
How
you
do
here
you
too.
throw
Where are you, boys?
just to be careful here.
Well, the one thing he doesn't want to do is
Easy
go
if you
deep
can
either,
for
right?
line.
He can be
Okay.
anywhere
Start
from
to curl now.
just top
Okay,
8-foot to
looks-
biting the
looks good.
4-foot.
Okay. No, then no. Can it dig? This. Just leave it. Just leave it.
Yeah.
There you go.
That is in the worst place possible. John could have put it.
Lock it on.
Absolutely.
I got 14
Mark
threes.
Keane
So
now is just going to follow him down,
His speed's real good.
speed should be
freeze on him, and
Like
force
that
him
ice?
to a
Same as
single
him?
point.
Yeah, he took here, didn't he? He took
No, he
here.
was middle.
Did he? Okay.
Well, that's disappointing, you know. You have the whole end set up here for 2 points.
I think that's the
I
John
got
not
14
believing the
three.
weight and trusting the weight.
I still think I need a 4.
I got John at about 371 from backline to hog. We'll see
Yes, it's hard to believe.
where Mark Keane
Keep
ends
the heads
up.
up. Keep the heads up, guys.
5.
Lock it on.
You ran a little bit of good stuff and get out. Bet you 5 inches in here. Try and get one of your next one. Oh, it makes a good freeze.
Line's
Maybe a little
good.
bit,
Play the
but not
weight.
much.
377, so
Easy. Whoa.
he should
Easy.
be in the ballpark, but it may not
And
need any
don't.
sweeping. I think he
Don't.
took a smidge more ice than John did, and John's usually got a little softer in-turn.
Yeah, 13.8. You should be able to get it.
God.
This is trying to wind in there.
Oh, my
It
goodness.
might be
This is a shot for 3 here.
wow. That is that's a brutal miss by Mark Keane. He will not be happy with that. The whole team will not be happy with that.
I'm just, again, Ian, I'm just so shocked at the
0 touch.
inconsistency with draw weight out here this week.
I just, I think it's kind of what I've been saying for the last few draws is that I think all season long they play on ice that's about 14.5 seconds to 15 seconds, and now we're definitely up around 15.5 seconds.
But you adjust, right? I mean, you've got the front end timing every rock.
Yep. Yep. Whoa. Yes. Whoa.
He's okay. He's got this.
Please.
Wow.
There's a great shot by John Epping, and they will score a huge 3 points here in the 6th end of play. And jump to a 2-point lead. They will lead by a score of 5-3 going into the 7th end of play.
He's so fast. It's way too
Wait
fast.
till you try this side. This side's the fastest ever.
And that's kind of the first miscue we've seen out of Mark Keane.
Yeah, it is. I mean, John's first rock there too was also heavy,
Yeah,
and
get loose back.
kind of gave Mark an out there.
Oh, totally,
But
yes.
Jesus,
Let's go.
You know, it's
Ramp it up.
it's one of those things where maybe they're just not believing it.
they must not be.
Shoot.
Yeah.
That's a shame. What did he throw? Are you fucking kidding me? Holy shit.
What do you think? I thought there. I think we're there right now.
Yeah.
Close.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can straight draw there. You can straight draw here.
Hopefully
Like,
above the tee.
3 other games going on here this afternoon.
It's not that hard.
Seaside
It's not hard.
semifinals going on.
All right,
On our
guys.
far sheet, we've got Sebastian
Yeah, same weight.
Robillard
Should be fine.
leading
Should be fine.
6-3
Should be
over
normal.
Joe Franz. They blanked the 6th end, so Monsieur Robillard will have the hammer in the 7th end. Mark Bice trails Richard Krell by the score of 5-2. They just completed the
walking a little
6th
bit.
end of play, and no score has been posted yet.
It's a 2.
Greg Ballston has a 4-2 lead over Cody Moss after 6 ends of play.
Hey, Scott. Good throw.
So all of these games are pretty well the same spot. They're all initiating their 7th end of play. Mark Bice looks like he just grabbed 2 points in that 6th end to bring the game to 5-4 for Richard Krell.
Like to go.
In our game, John Epping just got a huge three-ender against Mark KEAN to take a 2-point lead. To March throws his rock on the forefoot.
Sorry, we're biting top four now.
Scott Brandon through the corner guard, and Tim March is trying to throw another here just short of the 4.
Throw Tim. Attaboy, Tim.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we didn't.
Mark KEAN asking Scott Brandon.
I think so. Should move.
Bring one around the corner guard.
Switch. Calling in.
Wait's there. T. T.
Calling in.
T.
Still there. Call on if you can. Yep, gotta go. Gotta go. No, it's good. It's good. It's good. That's fine, Scotty.
Well done by Scott. That's perfect. You know what? It's in play. It's buried.
Yep.
That's all you want.
Exactly. Somewhere in the rings.
John Epping going to get Patrick Jansen here to play the run back. Possibly pick off the back one. If he misses, maybe he wants him to roll for a center guard.
Some way. Get it, John. Go. Good shot.
Great shot by Patrick Jansen.
Oh, shit. Okay.
One of the things the OCA has put into effect for a number of their championships, Mary, has they've sort of taken away the hogline officials. They do not have the electronic handles on the rocks, and so it's more of an honor system.
Right.
And here are the rules. There's
there.
nobody calling it,
Off,
but if a team does make a complaint, then they will put the hogline officials out there.
Yeah,
And
it's pretty much the honor system here, and everybody knows that and tries to abide by the rules.
well, it's a little bit like golf. It's almost like calling a penalty on yourself.
Shot.
Right.
And you know, if you're consistently going over the hog lines, usually the other team will sort of quietly sort of make note of it or say something to the opposing skip.
Yeah.
And then, you know, if nothing changes, then at this level they would probably bring in an official.
Right.
But the Grand Slam events all season long don't have hogline officials in effect.
Right.
You know, kind of like Hawkeye in tennis. You know, that's what I love about the electronic sensor handles that are used at all our national events. You know, it's fantastic. It's black and white.
Order control.
And to me, that's been one of the great inventions in our game, actually, is having those electronic handles.
No, you don't need them yet.
Yeah, those poor officials used to sit out there for hours upon hours watching everyone slide over the hog line.
Remember my good friend Paul Savage getting a rock pulled because of a hotline official back in, I believe it was about 1984.
Yep! Yep! Oh! Yes!
How did Paul take that?
Oh, not well.
Whoa! Scotty!
There's a great shot by Brad Kidd.
Real nice. Just almost.
What's that?
So Matt Cam here going to play the run back.
Well, all of a sudden, John Epping's in a bit of trouble here.
Yeah.
You know, he's not going to get Matt to try to run this back. It's a real thin double, so I don't think that's there. In a perfect world, he'd love to just stuff it on that rock and roll his shooter off. Well, he didn't roll it off, and then he guarded the KEAN stone even better.
Okay. Roll under if you want. I'd rather.
He wanted to roll the guard.
That's
off,
easier than making the cross house, probably, isn't it?
I don't know what he was doing.
Yeah. Okay. So roll here then.
Sure. Yeah, yeah. 2 3/4. Yeah, no, sweep it. I didn't want to bury it. That's why I wanted Woe, because I was hoping I could get both of them to go together and sit behind it. Ambitious, but make him chase something a little harder.
Whoa, 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 whoa. No, off, Brad. No.
Dow trying to hang this around, and he rolls out.
There's a ton of weight.
He is not happy with that miss. That is, you know.
I think so.
You want to stay, John, or you want to just rip it?
He had the chance to lay 2.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Even Mark even asked if he wanted to roll the other side of the rings just to sort of maintain the
Does it jam?
2 in the rings.
Okay.
First bad slide.
It's going to give John the opportunity with Matt Cam to rip this stone
I
out.
just don't know what those speed's going to be like out here, Patty.
And then Mark Keane will be forced to start again.
Yeah. Well, at least he'll have this corner guard to come around.
Yeah.
Just don't want to jam this thing on your own. Takes it with it, which is just what John wanted.
Hey, guys.
Well done, Matt Cam.
Nice. Do you think that's too much, or do you think that's fine?
Colin Dow going to try to warp one back around this corner guard.
I just didn't like throwing softer. I was worried if it was slower.
It looks like it should be good.
Feel like a normal. And
Wait only, guys. Wait only.
end up being normal.
Wait only. Have a
No,
look.
Line?
Scott for line. Scott for line.
Doesn't have to curl.
Scott.
Doesn't have to curl.
Hard. Room.
Whoa.
Room. So play the weight.
15 seconds on the
Brad, hard.
the
Brad,
hogs.
hard.
Brad. No. It's there. It's finishing. Good.
You don't like the freeze. I think the only other shot's the winner.
Well, that's good enough for Mark Keane and Colin Dell.
Good spot.
This is going to force John to throw the run back because he doesn't want to throw the freeze and bring the possibility of 3 into play.
That was a bad one.
It's just a bad
This is a little hot too.
Well, it's because I tried to out it and add it at the end. Yeah. Just, everything was bad about it.
I thought maybe it'd come up, but no, I didn't have a chance in that spot.
What you don't want to
So
do here is
straight.
just miss the run back and leave your guard in play.
Yeah, like this is
I prefer to play this.
actually
No, I
rolling
don't
it to
mind
center
if you,
guard,
like,
center line is not awful
Line is,
either.
like, 'cause
Right.
worst you're giving up too, right?
Sticking it there is.
I think. Maybe
Just
not.
like that. Just like that.
That is not what John wanted.
Try and get top
Speed's,
12.
yeah,
if you
speed's
can.
right up there.
Well,
right here.
Yeah, like right here.
Opportunity for Mark Keane
Well,
now to possibly get his 3
I don't
points
think
right
he can,
back.
'cause then he makes that.
He's not throwing that. He'll throw the run all day.
Okay. Right on the end.
So
I think it's great.
pigs
I mean,
get
he can
fed,
try
and
it.
hogs get slaughtered.
Right on
I'm
the
letting
end.
him try
Chickens
the
get eaten.
draw.
Sure. Right on the end.
Okay.
So
Same ice.
That
Yeah.
was your ice.
Yeah,
do you
it-
go in
it
behind the
walks
corner
over there
guard,
real
or do
nice
you
at the
split
end.
the rings?
I
think
would
same.
go behind the corner guard.
Okay, so
Thanks,
right
Sam.
edge of back.
You?
Yeah.
Obviously, splitting the rings is the more conservative call.
Moment of truth. Yeah. It'd be the same ice speed as the last draw that I threw. The one that I came back 8. It's faster than that. Faster.
Got to be careful here. He doesn't want to get behind this tee line again.
Okay.
Mark, the 29-year-old from Woodstock, Ontario, who successfully runs, I believe it's woodstockshop.com. Shopwoodstock.com. An online shopping service. He's also involved with Run Back Apparel.
Right.
He looked like he might have softed this one over a little bit.
This will move.
And this one's got to go hard for line.
Oh, they're not worried about it.
Room.
Line's good.
Weight's
Whoa,
really
whoa.
nice.
Just here, guys. Just here. Just here.
Oh, that's a pistol.
Well, that's a great shot.
Okay.
Well, John could kind of freeze down to the back one and kill the end, but it'd be the same thing. I don't think you don't want to tick off, and
Right.
real important. Now, this is one of those shots where you want to leave it to your front end, use their judgment, and hopefully they in communication with the third man can lock this thing on.
Overcurl a little bit.
Don't you throw the thing. Don't you throw the
Oh,
thing.
yeah. You're right.
Close.
Don't want to chap off, that's all. The line looks really good.
Yeah. Weight's pretty close.
Gotta go hard line. Hard.
Hard call. Hard call. Tops there.
Pretty nice shot by John Epping.
Yeah, you know what? That is a great shot.
That is.
Throw the draw.
I think that
Almost the same way.
Mark might be able to tap it and get two.
I think if you want.
I don't know if there, it just depends how much separation there is between those two stones. Maybe from our overhead camera we can have a look-see on
I was soft on that.
how much separation there is.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot.
Back 8.
Back 8.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
So Ian, that was the risk.
Touch it.
That was the risk for KEAN coming around that corner guard again.
Yeah, I was thinking the same way.
Could have drawn open side. Would have been a safer bet. Good chance. Yeah, there
Well,
is
I
some.
think there is room to tap that back and definitely get his second point, and that's
Right.
exactly what Mark Keane's going to be after now. He's tightened up the ice a little bit. You know, he's probably going to play just back line weight.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys, for that.
Yep. Really got to go.
Hard all the way.
Way tighter line.
Whoa. Yeah.
This
Hard.
is curling early.
Right to it. All the way, guys. Really hard.
I don't know if just that much less ice and it doesn't run the line, and this is going to be a John Epping steal of 1 point, which is a huge momentum and game changer. John Epping will go to
My
a
fault.
6-3 lead, 3-up lead after 7 ends of play. You know, even if he got his point there, he's only down 5-4.
I know. He actually threw that really light, Ian.
Well, I think he took that much less ice, and I think this is where they're getting fooled, is that, you know, you go on to the right of the center line from the throwing position, and, you know, he lets it go, and it kind of runs the line and then eventually comes off and keeps breaking. Well, he
Right.
got inside the line early, and
Quickly,
it was
yeah.
gone.
Or I would have had you guys on it. I was just worried for
Well, that's a
bouncing
huge
and-
turnaround in the
and
sand.
rolling. Just waited that split second too long.
In our other matches, Team Robillard is up 7-3 over Team Franz. Krell up 5-4 over Team
Okay,
Bice.
Tim, you know the speaker.
And
It's running good.
Bolson is up 4-3 over Team Moss. They are all seaside games.
Yeah, he probably does.
The winners of those games will go into the Seaside Finals this evening at 7:30 p.m. So please tune in back here on Title Sports Live.
Just gotta say, you're 1-2, right?
Obviously, the loser of this game will fall down and join the winners of the Seaside. So we will have 2 more games.
There.
Okay.
We will be right here live on
That
Title
corner's pretty
Sports
nice.
Live.
It goes in there real nice. You know it.
They call that dumping.
Oh, we're doing the other way. Yeah, looks like it.
Jim March getting it right onto the button, exactly where John Epping would have called for it. That's the first.
We're good, aren't we?
I just misinterpreted the tap, like the signal was tapping. So I was like,
No, he made 2 really nice shots
Yeah,
in the
perfect
previous
weight.
end
I would have
as
got
well.
it earlier if I knew it was. I would have held
I
the
just
line. I
went
was
right
just trying to
I
play
know.
it tight because of the tap.
Too much ice.
I always think that this is for the big man O'Neill in there. I always think that Tim
Weight
Marks
should be
looks like
good,
Adam
John, on its
Levine.
own.
Really, I never actually thought of that.
I think
he
it's
looks
still there.
identical to the lead singer from Maroon
it?
5.
5.
Yeah, it's still there.
O'Neill's always kind of got the groove going on.
Oh, he does. He does.
Or under, I guess, but another corner problem.
Just waiting for one of his home-cooked meals.
Is he a good cook?
Oh, I think he's really good with grits and bacon.
I think we're good, aren't we?
Call and clean it.
So Mark's down 3 points here in the 8th end.
Yeah,
Well
okay,
deeper.
just leave it.
Got some work to do.
Okay.
Well, Scott Brandon gets the 2 corner guards in play. Patrick Jansen will try to annihilate both of them if he can.
Curl.
Oh. That looked like it backed off pretty hard.
Get that.
Corner again? Should be all there, shouldn't it?
You're
Tight.
good, bud. Keep going.
Top 12.
This is T-line, eh?
Tight. Top 12.
Unless it comes down. No, that's in. That's a digs now.
Okay.
Well, it's tight, and it may have left Patrick Jansen with a double here.
Whoa. Whoa.
A little thin.
It's good, Pat.
That's a good run by Patrick Jansen.
Yeah. You want to guard our guard?
You know, just how big a miss that Mark Keen's stone was last end. Rather than being 5-4 within 1, now he's down 3.
Yeah.
Hang still. All there. All there. Hey! Hold it.
Hold on.
Halfway.
Should be almost frozen.
All there.
Only problem is where does the yellow
Shot
go
getter.
across top?
It's good.
Yeah.
You doing the 1, John? Okay.
Matt Cam here now going to take the run at the appeal. The double appeal may be there, but I'm going to back this one a bit. He's just going to get a piece.
All right, so we got to make something happen now. Sure. Yeah, sure.
Thanks. He's coming around now. He's got to be. Take a whirl at the run.
Colin Dow going to try to get a rock buried behind his corner guard here, even if it's really deep. But it's sort of the same situation we were in last end, Mary. You know, if he gets it in, gets it buried, you know, that's fine, because John's not going to take any chances. He's going to try to play the run through on the tight guard, and if he misses, then it's going to give Mark Keane the opportunity to make a play on the center 2 stones. He would have preferred that to be a little deeper, but
Yeah.
It's up to you. I got 2/3 of the one in the back, or okay. Yeah.
I think that's a better call.
Good sweep, guys.
Just go for the one in the house.
well, you just kind of keep your weight. He just is not going to throw peeler here, but
Yeah.
he'll throw normal weight here. Hopefully hang his shooter around, but doesn't want to disturb his rocks too much there in the forefoot, because they're kind of situated rather well for him right now.
Whoa, close!
Good looking shot coming. Wow, they kind of let that go real long, didn't they?
They did.
Close there. Yeah. Nice. I think that's sharp.
Sure. Okay.
And that normal double I made the other end.
And sit right in front of
That.
the blue there.
Because I was with the wall and I was ready for Tim almost to sweep that one.
Colin now going to try and play a little quiet double and jiggle his rocks and even roll his shooter behind the corner guard.
Hard!
Uh-oh, he might have rolled the sod over on this one.
Right to it! Right to it! Right to it! Okay.
That's what I'm thinking. You hit
Sorry,
the wall
guys.
in front and then he tries to triple.
Yeah, I just saw.
Well, the result isn't awful.
Corey's
John's going to have to
like
deal with it. He just doesn't want his shooter to actually roll it behind the behind cover, because then it would probably give Mark a double opportunity, but with a catcher.
You just rip it, he tries that, and you got a 3-foot run back.
He rips it. The good thing is if he rips it.
Ripping is probably the easiest.
He's got a short run. Yeah, but it's a yellow, so we can yeah.
Matt Cam talking John Epping into just ripping that rock out of there.
Clean. Yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Well, and he ends up hanging around.
Yeah, I think you make the
I'll try to make it
here.
Joe.
At least there's like a pocket. Yeah.
Joe Franz picking up 2 points in the 8th end against Sebastian Roubayar.
He was curling. I was like,
Roubayar leading by 2 heading into the 9th end of play. Mark Bice has stolen a point in the 7th end and has tied that game up
This spot
at
should run a
5.
little more than the one I just threw. Yeah. This spot right here is normal.
And Greg Balls has got himself in a world of trouble here. He is leading by a point, but has the hammer here in the 8th end.
You have to be careful. He has a split. He has the split.
Yep.
Oh, it's going to go whole shoot.
Yep.
Is it?
Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Yeah. Hard. Hard.
Mark Keane going to try to make the double and roll if he can.
Shooter. Roll it. All right. Good try, bud.
Great try.
Do you think he can make that
Yeah,
split and do it?
yeah, he can, but if I took the guard, I'd give him 3.
Well, take it in.
Want to throw board?
Or pick it. Pick it. Make him make it. You give him 1, it's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Close, man. Real close.
A little bit of curl, eh, John? Or it was just me.
Super close. Yeah. It's a hair more at me. Then he has to play a run.
Interesting thought process here. You know, my thinking would be to kind of throw a normal weight hit here and try to hang your shooter on in the outside 8 foot. You know, he's just talking about just picking it, just ripping it, and seeing what Mark will do. Mark's got an opportunity to split and get a deuce. I'm not sure that's great strategy in giving him that deuce. I know John's not trying to get cute at this point, but you still give him a little opening.
You're right. Yeah.
I think it's just
You know, he just watched Matt Cam throw that shot 2 ends ago. It's almost identical.
You can use it. I've seen this turn a bunch. It kind of.
It's, yeah.
You ever get the force one?
You think it's easier this way though?
It's easier to play with the end.
I just know this, right? But we've thrown a couple this way.
Oh, it's not a picnic.
You think it's easier this way just because you can hit it thinner?
He's picking.
You can hit this thinner. You can hit it thinner.
Oh, he must have made a run back.
Right? You can hit this thinner.
Okay.
Right? Is that what you're saying?
Sure.
One blue on the nose.
Yeah.
Mark Keane discussing how to make this split.
Yeah, really. It's
We'll listen in.
I think you're just throwing it into it, not necessarily to move it.
Yeah, I don't mind this turn. It should run pretty good.
Eh?
This turn should run pretty good.
The end? Yeah, I think the end right here should be all right.
There? Like that?
So you're thinking back line?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
Maybe I could throw a little bit more. Like it's a little hot. It's
Whatever.
okay.
Yeah. Whatever you like.
Because you're not going to roll out with half.
Back line right there, I think gives it a chance.
Okay.
Has he got to move that blue one, Ian, to get this?
No, I think he can actually use it as a bit of a catcher.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't know if he could.
I think he's going to split it across the face. He's going to throw the in-turn here, try to hit half a rock and spill both rocks on. I think this stationary stone here would actually go into the side of the Epping stone.
Right.
His only challenge is that he's out wider than what they've been playing on this sheet, so it's a little bit of a guess at the weight.
Stay close.
No.
No.
Close.
No. Scott.
No.
He doesn't want to tap this through and give him another steal of a point.
Okay.
No, that's going to be a single point for Mark
Actually, it was
Keane.
not bad. It came down in the end.
So at the end of 8 ends of play, John Epping will lead by a score of 6-4.
All right. Well, yeah, it's whatever you want.
2 guards.
Sure, good.
There's too much ice.
Yeah. Weight ended up being really
High first or?
whichever
you
wherever
like.
it ends up.
Yeah. High or tight?
Got that high one in your back pocket, right? Oh man. You say that now, but I'm gonna wait till you throw it.
Really tight. Line's
good.
really tight.
I think we're good.
Well, for Mr. Keane, the goal now is very simple. He has to go all out with double centers, and he's going to be in all-out steal mode.
By rock and a half, but yeah. Good weight.
See, here's my only challenge with John Epping. You're 2 up with the hammer. They've thrown the center guard, and he's getting to March to throw to the center. I know he's trying to protect the button.
Right.
But when you go to protect the button in this instance, you know, that's exactly what the opposition wants, too.
Right.
They want rocks in the 4-foot.
Right. You're kind of helping out the Mark Keane team here.
I think John would have been better to go a little wider with the ice and draw to the side edge of the 4-foot. So if they ever got one in there established, he could sort of carry him in off it. like the worst place you can throw it is in the back 12-foot.
Center.
Center. We're pretty good. Just clean. We're still good. We're still good. Easy. Yeah.
Yeah, guys, gotta go. Oh, easy, easy, easy.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Easy, Brad. It's there. It's there. It's there.
Good, Scott.
Good. Good. Does the job. Good.
Well, Scott Brandon gets his 2 guards in play, which is goal number 1. Tim March being asked to throw it on the top of the 4-foot, trying to protect
John.
that button.
Top 8. Top 4. Top 4. That's a big super. Top 4. Coming down. Top 4. Full 4. Full 4. Shot, Tim.
Well, that is a pistol right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, corner it. Maybe if you get lucky, you bump it a foot. Sure, Timmy. Good adjustment.
I
Corner
guess
it.
so.
Yeah. Yeah. Coming out and all I see is the rock just go back 12 and I was like, I think Wade's pretty close. Wade's pretty good.
Big change in one of the other keys.
To it.
Seaside semifinal games. Cody Moss just stole 3 points against Greg Baldston. And he leads now by a score of 6-4 as they play the 9th end. Baldston with the hammer. Brad Kidd trying to
Real good.
corner freeze, and he just goes a little deep, but actually stays for shot rock. So
It is. Good. You ready for your life?
Patrick Jensen successfully peeling that tight center guard.
Pretty relaxed.
No, we're shot. Yeah. We're almost all full 4. Oh, really?
Brad Kidd going to replace the center guard here.
Just clean.
The fact that they are shot rock, it's
Maybe here more. Tight.
Clean.
John Epping is going to have to do some work
Keep it
here to
clean.
try to
Tight.
run his own
Keep it
stone
clean.
back onto that
Real
shot stone.
tight.
He may get an opportunity right here.
No, that's good. That's good. It's good. It's good. Shot. Yeah. Just make 4 guards in a row.
You're assuming I can do that.
Patrick Jansen here.
Wow, fair point.
Nice clean throw, just content to make the one peel.
Yeah.
Great.
I guess at the end of the day, I guess John, all he's making, he wants to know he's got the button open to draw to.
Exactly. He's up 2 with.
Sitting pretty good. Keep ripping, he's
Yeah,
in trouble.
I'm aware.
Yeah, 7/8 of that blue.
I did throw.
Not great. Well, what do you think he does in the last one? Keeps guarding. Yeah, you're right. Maybe you can knock onto the top of the blue. But you're still drawing full 4.
Okay.
Holly Duncan at the Ontario
see
Lady
it.
or at
Gotta see
the Canadian Scotties right now is at
Gotta sit.
4 and 5, and I think she is almost virtually eliminated from any future play. I mean,
She is. Yeah, I have not been following it.
well, she's
Today.
tied with BC. The leaders wild card is, which is Enorson, is at 8-1. Manitoba and Nova Scotia and Alberta all at 7-2.
Okay.
And I believe there's only 2 more draws.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Cam here just going to peel out the center stone of Mark Keane. They're content right now just to keep making the one peel.
Just don't stop. Hold your breath when you throw.
Colin Dow, the 29-year-old from Ottawa, Ontario, being asked to replace that center guard.
It's definitely less.
Line's good, just easy.
Brad, it's yours. Brad, it's yours.
Yeah, I'm thrilled that there's a whole crew of young 20-something-year-olds out here playing and competing, knowing that one of these years Glenn will eventually retire.
Well, you know, and it's true. There's so many great players here this week, but in my opinion, the greatest is Glenn.
He does.
And, you know, he just
He could throw some rotation. It would be a lot easier.
keeps it coming.
Well, it's funny. He's kind of been king of the hill, and he keeps saying, "Hey, take your best shot."
Yeah.
Try to knock me off.
Right.
You know, he knows that. You know, in those big games, I think that's why a lot of teams put a lot of pressure on themselves to make the big shots and kind of feel like they can't miss against Glenn. Well, you know what? You can't think that way. You just have to sort of play your game, try to make your shots, and force him to come to you.
Right.
You guys are professionals. Come on, what is that? Just try to booted the bird.
We're far from professionals.
My lord. No, I know what far from professional is. That's not it.
So Mark Keane's going to throw this center guard
A
here.
little wide.
I fully expect at that point John Epping will actually try to draw.
Yeah.
You know, worst comes to worst, he will.
Brad, if you can. Brad, if you can.
No, it doesn't
You know,
even throw.
even if he blocks the path, the worst that's going to happen is that he's going to give up a steal of one.
Right.
Okay, it's on its own. Leave it.
So this is a lot deeper than he would have liked.
All right.
So I think this is going to give John Epping
Well, you can probably
possibly
get
a free run at ripping both of these.
Just hit it low.
But he's got to hit.
Do you? Are we sitting bad though? If you just rip it clean,
He's got to hit a quarter or less of that stone.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking if we do it, well, if you make contact, it's probably making
give it a
this.
little bit to kind of just.
The only thing that could be bad is if it goes. Do you like that, John? Anywhere low is good. It's going to stay out of your way. You like that?
Even for John, actually, even if you hit and rolled over here to where about the M is in milk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then Mark Keane's probably got to think of a different shot. He might have to try to come around and weld on his own back one. Because John could always run that stone in.
I did, and it was still all there. Whoa!
Clean.
All there.
Clean. Throw, John.
I'm shocked at that.
Yeah, I
Hope he doesn't
think
make a tap.
Just keep
You
it,
go right
hang
here.
it around.
let him look at the tap.
Yeah, go there.
Just to cut his rings down a
If
little
you
bit.
go there, he can go out turn through the port.
Sure, John.
You have to touch center.
I know, but do you give him that shot, or do you just give him the draw to the button? Go here, give him the draw to the button. Huh? No, exactly. So I think you just have to touch.
We'll listen in here to the Keane team.
That's all they had.
Well, yeah, he just throws the draw, and if it happens to be there, he gets two. Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, you need a miss, Scotty. I think you just throw it on center.
Yeah. I was thinking like right here.
So what are you thinking for ice here?
Same way as my guard.
You just got to be. You couldn't put it on the side of the button, but what do you think?
See, I think
Is that where we're going?
I think the shot is to try to come in and corner freeze the top blue, right on center line.
I think we can make it with the brooms as long as
And then you really cut down John's shot.
Make his draw a little harder.
At this point you have to be picture perfect. That's all.
It's not gonna
if he ever leaves you this blue.
So he's just calling the guard here?
Well, and like both Mark and Colin said, that if he throws the guard, he's going to come around, he's going to draw to the button, and if he taps, he's able to get around and tap the yellow keen stone an inch or two, he's going to get 2.
Yeah, definitely.
Line's good. So
Wait,
go
don't
if
wait.
you have
Line's
to.
good.
Wrap around. Like, I'm gonna throw
Line's good. Looks like a lot.
It's just curling.
Yep, hard. Over curling or over bending. It's gone. It's gone.
Got a 16-1 on that.
Let's
John.
stop.
That one just grinded.
You're right up.
Did I not?
Well, there's 2 options here for John Epping. Obviously, his first shot is to draw to the button.
Yeah.
He can draw to the button, he gets his point. If he draws the button and he's got back 4 for weight and he taps the keen stone, that way you're just kind of leaving it to the sweepers. They tap it a couple inches, he's going to get 2, and I would expect that would be ball game. If he's a little bit tight, he could probably even just tap his own up as well.
He just touches it too.
And he probably gets a single point.
Your line's great.
Jesus was heavy.
I think I'm at 382, it should be a ton of weight.
No. You have a chance?
You got it?
Oh yeah.
Starting to walk if they were.
Oh, don't touch it.
Okay, John.
I'm surprised that they didn't directionally sweep that at the end.
Yeah, it's 1.
Try to get anything. Well, that's a steal of 1 point for Mark Keane here at the conclusion of the 9th end of play.
What turn, Scott?
John Epping will still lead by a score of 6-5 and will retain the hammer for the 10th end of play.
Edge of 8.
Yeah, I got a 16 to top 12.
Yeah.
That was my fault, boys. Sorry.
I had a 16.5 or 16.3.
You know what? I just want to put it on the record.
Oh, I should have made you curl.
Yeah, can you put it
Keane's
up that
team
one?
still has 5 minutes left on their clock, and the Epping team has 7 minutes. It should be ample time for both, because I still believe they both still have their timeouts.
Yep.
I think so.
Scott Brandon's going to need to recreate the center guards he did the last end.
Easy. It's still Brad. It's still you. It's still you.
Yeah, a little discouraging for the Epping team.
You got it.
Great shot, Scott.
They're still in good
Hey,
shape, being one up with hammer, but
Scott. That was a 20. That was a 20.
so Johnny's going to try the tick shot here.
Yeah, Tim March being asked to tick this over.
Oh, he's just gonna tick this too. He's gonna make you look like a fool. Back line.
It's good.
Back line.
Oh man.
It's great.
Back 12.
It's really close. Is he going to get anything of it? No.
Sure she goes. Sorry, John.
So Mark Keane will ask Scott to get another tighter guard here.
Extension.
Line's
I
good.
like the extension.
Yep. Hard.
On the way.
Preferably directly in line.
Great. Go.
It's really moving.
Come on.
Keep going. Keep going.
Doesn't want to tick it.
Keep going. Oh. Hey, whoa.
Nice shot.
Scott.
Great shot by Scott Brandon. Well done under the gun.
Yeah, but it's pretty important. pretty important getting the line right. Yeah. No, it's good.
Really close. Oh, it's real close, John.
Now this is an important shot here, Ian. Placement.
He's got to get at top of the button and just make sure that he sort of cuts
Top eight,
off
top
any
four.
access to the button.
Yep.
Or the last thing, anyway.
We're there.
It does look heavy, doesn't it?
Shot.
Get back there. Oh, top
Sorry.
button. It's not bad.
Should have made it curl.
Yeah. Freeze if the
Yeah,
way.
try and move it.
Line's good. We'll take it in there, but just play the freeze.
Back here.
Bunch of action going on and on all our sheets here this afternoon at the Canada Summit Centre in Huntsville, Ontario.
Yeah.
Joe Franz stole a point, so he has one down coming home playing the 10th end. Richard Krell maintains a 6-5
Wait, should be
lead
real close.
Whoa,
playing the
whoa.
10th end.
Back four.
Whoa.
Easy.
Close.
Back four.
No.
Back four.
Greg
Go
Balston
ahead.
scored 2 in the 9th to tie that game at 6 against Cody Moss.
Hard. Real hard. Gotta go. Go hard.
Good looking shot here from Brad Kidd. Come around, tap
good.
that back.
Shot,
Easy.
Brad.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
excellent stone, excellent stone.
All right, Patty. Let's go, bud.
Nice toss, Brad.
Pat Jansen going to be
Pretty good, man.
lining up the missile here to try to double peel these two center guards.
Yeah.
Close. Great shot, Pat.
Gets rid of the two center guards, but kind of still leaves his own, which isn't so bad because at least now you're driving your own stone back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hair higher. It's beautiful. Throw.
We're pretty close, aren't we? You're a, oh, jeez.
Line's great.
Halfway.
Play the weight.
Halfway.
Get it far as it goes. Far as it goes. Let's go. Hard, boys.
Brad Kidd trying to replace the center guard here, try to get two of them in line. Oh, that's a great shot.
I was thinking about it. But the thing is, like, he's going to have to guard it, and we'll have a double. We'll keep guarding there. Yeah. We just got to get rid of that blue eventually.
Listening into Matt Cam talk about his blue stone at the back of the button, to them, they know that is a danger stone.
Oh. Oh, I got it's me now? Oh,
That's the
crap.
last place that they're going to want it.
Yes.
Right.
Making me throw the high one.
What do you think, Johnny?
Knowing that
Ripping it?
if Mark Keane makes a tap on his own, a tap free, is that they will be unable to remove it.
My second
Be
one.
a guaranteed
last
steal
end
of a
ended up
point.
where again? That was halfway, right? Yeah. Okay.
No, it's not. If you ever guards in front of
Try
the
to get somewhere in that
just rip
ballpark.
both of them. Then the best you can do is side 4, and you rip it down. This will be drawing it 2. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's keep it. Oh, I'll try to make sure for you.
Easy. Should be close. Should be real close, guys.
Easy. Looks there.
Colin Dow
Easy.
going to replace that center stone.
Just grind and stop.
Look at this intern. It's just kind of warping across
good
that
shot.
line now, isn't it?
Nice weight, Colin.
It's funny, you know, now that Johnny has the opportunity, I'm surprised that he's not running the 2 rocks in the 4-foot.
Well, I was thinking the same thing, Ian. I just didn't want to say it. But like you say, those rocks are going to eventually give him a lot of trouble.
I think right here I would try to splash both those rocks. You know, even if he could get to the nose and splash it out and roll his shooter inside, then he makes it really difficult for, you know, if I'm Mark Keane right now, I think you've got an opportunity right now You might throw one more center guard, but you want this thing right on center line and really long.
Yeah.
You might even want it just over center line, so the you know, if he tries the double run back, he may leave his center guard. But if he splashed those out of there, and if Mark Keane got buried, at least John Epping would have a good part of the forefoot and the button to draw to with his last.
Oh no.
I think it's good. Easy.
I think you're good.
Holy crap. Whoa. Ah, it's plenty of space.
It's good.
Lots of room. Lots of room. Lots of room.
What do you like? Tap on my first?
I think you have to tap frozen. And if he's last,
Then we can go around. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Clean. Oh, mine's the stuff's at the other end. Just give me a second here, bud.
You can
we got
wait
lots
if
of
you
time.
want.
Matt
but I
Kim
think
just
if we
making
guard
one
it for
peel
me-
there.
You guys like to tap now? Yeah, I know. I'm getting my stuff.
So he's going to make
Guys
his
wanna
move
call
here
timeout?
now, I think.
Well, this is trouble now for John Epping. He
Yeah.
makes he taps,
No, we
freezes
still have
this.
two left.
He
They'll
can
take the timeout.
absolutely
Timeout.
not get it out of play.
Yeah.
First.
I didn't think about it. Fuck, I should have got Timmy to shoot.
What? Yeah.
Yeah, like you tap, he
Yeah,
tries
so
to blast,
You go right there. Yeah.
and then you make a
good
pistol.
tap.
He's got to draw the pin when it's tough drawing out here. Yeah.
How much weight is a tap from here to here? Like
Back four at most.
They carry through pretty good.
Yeah, they do. Back four at most. You could probably even get away with T-line.
Guard
I
line
think you
is
just
here.
want to tap,
That
freeze
part
it. You
Collins
do
was
not
there.
want to
I'm
move
thinking-
that back stone, because any type of
That's-
space gives opportunity for
Thinking
John to
there's
even roll him to the side and getting
Right.
No,
them
we
out
do
of there.
need to get shot here.
Well, this isn't the end of the world.
Yeah.
Even if you're not shot. Because this goes here.
Even if he didn't get shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's make this. Let's make that.
Yeah, absolutely. Back four.
Just line, really.
Thanks.
That draw that I threw earlier ended up like there,
Yeah,
right?
that's too much.
That's too much ice?
No, it's too much weight.
No, I'm talking line.
Oh, ice.
That would be close.
They seem to be going pretty hard if you're dead weight. They seem to be finishing hard.
I think that's
So I think you should be close to hitting nose if you're taking tight
that's
line
probably
here.
max, or is that good?
I think that's pretty close to.
I like that.
I'm not even sure that's max. I think
Okay.
that's pretty good. Right on nose is peachy.
4?
Well, there you have it, Mary. Mark's going to come down and try to just tap his stone at
My
the top
last guard was
forefoot back
410.
and freeze it on the Epping stone at the back of the button.
Both of them
Yeah.
are 410-ish, right? All right, let's make a good go of this.
Little wide.
Now
You
then.
can wait then.
No.
Right off then.
Starting to
Close,
walk
stay
over
close.
now.
Close.
You better not leave
Yep.
it.
Yep. Hard. 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 Hard.
Over curl.
They
Roll
lost
that,
the
roll
sweep
that, roll
on.
that. Hey, your
Jeez.
shot.
Weight was great.
John Epping is lucky.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's one of those shots where as the sweeper, you know, you see, oh, it's got lots of weight. You're too concerned that it's not going to curl now, right?
Yeah.
That, you know, and they stayed off it for so long that it just started walking over.
Yeah.
You know, they were better off if they're going to tap it on the high side and tap it sort of further buried and leave their shooter there.
You have a clean down.
Yeah, keep it
Would have left them options.
All right.
because
So
I
is he?
keep it straight.
I assume he's trying to make a hit and roll. hit and roll right on top. Can't nose it. Can't nose it. Then we hit and roll under.
Hard. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Yes. Whoa. Whoa. Yep.
John looking to hit and flop on top here, right on top of his own.
All the way to it. Whoa. Whoa.
Shot.
I think you got to come down and just move it.
Almost the same.
Yeah.
Hair last week, eh?
If you ever just touch it.
Well, he's going to have to be picture perfect here now, Mary.
Right there.
He's got to try to nudge it just a tiny little bit. Make sure that he's shot rock.
I think a little less because you do have to move it,
Nice
but you got to
bud.
stick on it.
Almost perfect.
Timeout, eh?
Same ice, I think.
Timeout.
Timeout.
You have lots of
Just
time.
call it.
You got a minute 40. You
Okay.
can call your timeout.
I'm just gonna take my time.
Doesn't hurt.
You really think about this. Good shot, John. Good shot.
Lots of time for Mark Keane. He's got his minute timeout. Plus, he's got a minute and a half or so on this clock, so he's just going to take his time to throw this, but sort of gather himself, take a deep breath. The fact that he just threw this, and it's almost the identical shot.
Yeah.
Identical weight, Mary.
Line's real good. Whoa, whoa, then whoa, 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 off, right off. Close, yep, hard. Hard. Whoa, 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 whoa.
It's got lots of weight.
Scott, whoa.
Just about 2 feet too much weight.
Yeah.
One of those shots you just hope John doesn't like. To me, he's too excitable here. It's like, you know what? Slow down, relax.
John.
Walk down the. That's why they tell golfers, when you get into that playoff situation, walk slower than you think you normally, or you're probably walking your normal thing. Because if he ends up tossing this a little bit back and he jams it, he probably ends up leaving a keen shot.
Yep. Anyways. Yep.
And there it is.
Good here.
John Epping makes the shot, gets 3 points there.
Okay, Matt,
Will
good luck,
win
man.
this game at a final score
Okay,
of
good luck. Good luck, man. John,
of
good luck.
9-5, and that will put John Epping into the B-side, or the 1-2 page playoff game against Glenn Howard tomorrow afternoon.
Well, that was a well fought game here, Ian.
Our crew's got a replay of this thing. Tim March keeping this clean all the way down. Removes it from play. I'm sure that's a huge sigh of relief for those guys, knowing that they're going to get a second chance at Glenn Howard.
Glenn Howard, yeah.
So from all of us here from Title Sports Live, we are at the Recharge with Milk Min's Ontario Provincial Tankard. We will look forward to seeing you tonight at 7:30 with our Seaside final games. There'll be 2 of them going on. But anyways, the John Epping team of Matthew Cam, Patrick Jansen, Tim March win this game and head into that 1-2 game against Glenn Howard. So from all of us at Title Sports Live, we thank you and look forward to seeing you tonight.